As Christians, we talk about grace all the time. But with key ideas and key words, sometimes we can use those words so much they lose their meaning. And grace is one of those words that is at risk, at least in some of our circles. We talk about God's grace. We talk about being gracious to one another. And it can lose its power. What I'm interested in exploring in this book is how understanding grace as gift, which is really the same word, if you know the history of it, grace as gift opens up some understanding that we might have misunderstood. That when we talk about God's grace, we're really talking about receiving gifts from God. And there has been a lot of literature on the importance of gifts in the ancient world, the importance of gift in Christian theology and in the history of the church that I think can really help us. One of the things that we need to understand when it comes to gift is a gift, properly understood, is something we receive. It's not something we've earned. It's given joyfully and freely. And yet also that gift, when it's received, does come with an expectation, not of working to pay it off or anything like that, but to enjoy, to participate in. If I'm a parent, when I give my children gifts, the last thing I want is for them to open it and go, oh, this is great, there's no obligation here, and throw it away, right? As a parent, I delight when they open the gift, they're delighted by the gift, and then they enjoy it. They use the gift, they participate in the gift. To understand grace is to understand it is what we receive from God. We receive God's grace, and ultimately God's grace is the gift of Himself. We receive the Son and the Spirit, and we live in the gift of His kingdom. And then what we discover is to receive these gifts is to then be called to enjoy His gifts, to live in those gifts, to dwell in those gifts. And that's an appropriate response. And ultimately, part of what's driving this book is this fundamental biblical idea that all things are from God, they're through God, and they return back to God. So God gives the great gift of Himself, and we respond to God by participating in His grace, by extending that grace and gift to others, so that ultimately God is glorified in the giving of the gift, in receiving the gift back in praise and thanks, and in His love for His people and His world.